Sky Squad, we are back in the building. What's going on? And y'all, I'm early today. The time said 10:15. It's 10:10, and your boy is in the building bright and early. I want some kudos for that. First of all, I want to say happy Monday to you all, and thank you all for being here. I appreciate you as always. So listen, let's get the housekeeping out of the way first. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. If you like reality TV related content, if you like travel related content, or if you want to travel, then this is the place for you. I wanted to give you guys this brief announcement. I told you the other day, for those of you guys that were on the live with us on Saturday, that I was going to be doing something on January the 25th, the weekend of January 25th. Well, here it is. Monique Samuels and I will be hosting a live podcast event together in Washington, D.C. Well, at the Bethesda Theater. So, you guys want to get your tickets to that. If you are in the DMV area, we want to see you. So, life after, what is it, right? Of course, we're going to be having a DJ because y'all know if I'm there, we got to have some music. So, we're going to definitely have a good time. It's going to be brunch. Yes, indeed. So, of course, this kind of goes back to what I wanted to do last year. And I feel like I found a great partner with Monique. She and I have been wanting to do something together for a very, very long time. I mean, I'm talking years. We've always known that we were going to work together in some way, shape, or form. And so we're going to be doing it on January 25th. But here's the thing, we actually got some help coming along with us. We have special guests, Jamie and Arena Tyler. And we also have Sherelle and Alfred Duncan. So it is going to be a good old situation, a good old Ponderosa, and we're going to have some real good discussion. Now, for those of you guys that didn't know, I mean, last we saw Jamie and Arena, and last we saw Sherelle and Alfred, we don't know if they were on the same page. But let me tell you something, when it's for a good cause, everybody's on the same page. So we're going to be having some good nitty gritty discussions, some guest surprises. Of course, we got some things for y'all, but definitely get your tickets. Come on out. We've got some um, VIP tickets as well, so we can do meet and greets and discussions and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's going to be super fun. So with that being said, if you're in the DMV or even if you are not, tell us where you would love us to come to next because we would love to take this all over the place. All right. Okay, so with that being said, you can click the link in the description to get your tickets now. Okay, now you may get your tickets now. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty with the episode. Now that I've kind of let some people get into the room, when we're going live, we got to kind of allow some time for people to get the notification because YouTube is, we know how they do. We know how they do with the notifications. Y'all, let's get into Potomac first because that was what I saw first. That's what came out first. Will there be a live? You know what? We will try to work that out. Let me check on that. Let me get some details because honestly, y'all, this happened so fast. This literally happened so fast. I'll tell you guys about how it happened a little bit later on, but it was super fast, super quick, and everything just kind of worked out. When I tell y'all something about alignment, baby, that was alignment. So I will definitely check and see. Okay. Come to SoCal, please. Listen, we would love to. We would definitely love to. Okay. So this episode of Potomac, as I was watching it initially, I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys the description. It's season 10, episode 12, Potomac and Ponies and Problems. Ashley reconnects with an old flame at the Potomac and Ponies Family Fun Day. Kiana and Greg celebrate a milestone moment. Tia seeks to repair her relationship with her half-sister, and Wendy's attempt to make peace with her father sparks a blowout. Okay. Let's get into some things. I don't know. You know what's funny? I don't have any caffeine in me. I do have this little sweet tea from Chick-fil-A. So I don't know. I went to the gym this morning. I did get into the little hot tub, so I feel a little relaxed. So I mean, it could be calm, but you just never know. Things might go off the rails. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and be honest, Katrina. At times I felt like I was a little bored myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am not gonna lie to you. Okay. Now, having said that, that does not mean that every episode is going to be super lit. You do need some episodes where you can establish personal story for each of the ladies. And I think these types of episodes are important when they are done correctly. And I will say that I do feel like this episode was done correctly because what they did was there were moments of okay, everybody's got a little bit of story, and you may not have been as invested in everybody's story, but baby, that ending was a whopper. Okay, it was a whopper. So we're gonna get there before we get to the off the rails part. I'm gonna talk about a couple of things. We start off at the ponies and picnics and Ponderosa's party or whatever. The girls are discussing Angel and whether or not she got kicked out of her executive rental. I mean, technically, she got kicked out because she didn't realize the date was coming up. I mean, so is that a kick out? Is that an eviction? No, not really. It's not an eviction. It is, girl, it's time for you to go. I mean, an eviction would be, in my mind, it's like, okay, your stuff is out on the streets. That to me is the real eviction. But again, they read the technical definition for it in the show, so you be the judge of whether or not the girl was evicted or not. Did the girl move there to be on the show? She say no. Kiana says no. Everybody else thinks yes. This is my opinion, and it could be a little bit controversial, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. I will, if I need to move someplace for a good job, then by golly, I just might. If I need to go rent a little apartment here or there because I want to go and make some extra coins, you shouldn't judge me. Okay, you ain't got no right to judge me for trying to put some food on my family's table. Okay, if I gotta move, I gotta make a move. Okay, don't judge me. For real, for real. I feel like this kind of goes into a little bit. I mean, to a certain degree, it's like, when and this is just a real thing. When you gotta do what you gotta do for you and your family, and you gotta make a way out of no way, I'm not gonna fault you for that. Because we all been there. So if I gotta make a move to make a move, guess who gonna make a move? Ding ding ding, Shawnee. I'm gonna do it. Because moving for a job it happens all the time. So for real, I see y'all talking about the sweet tea. Yes, baby. The sweet tea at Chick-fil-A. Y'all ain't never had it. It's good. Okay, it's real good. So for me, the thing about whether or not Angel moved there for the job is to me, it's water under the bridge, girl. If you got to do something for you and your fam, move, girl. I mean, more power to you. Okay, that's an enterprising person to me. Now, now is Angel or is Angel not? What's going on, Shamar? You know what? If Angel, there is something about how she carries herself in her confessionals that I don't mind. As I watch her and I listen to her talk, she sounds oddly soothing. I almost feel like I want to hear her in my voice as I'm going to sleep. And I appreciate the cadence with which she speaks, her vocabulary. It's not too far from the way that Wendy enunciates and sort of gives a regal presence in her interview. I just wish that that the regal presence that she exhibits in those confessionals translated into what we see in action. Maybe we will see that. Yes, very podcast host. Maybe we will see that next week when she lays down the law at her in her Colorado land, but we not seeing it just yet. I mean, it's given like disheveled. I'm barely making it, but again, we do know she had to leave her nice little home, and we don't know where she was gonna go. You know, she was just doing her best to be there. She's fighting for her life at this point, and you know, the girls just they just keep coming for her. You know, they have the whole family fun day event or whatever like that. They do three-legged races and stuff like that. Giselle and Charisse fall on the floor because I don't know why. But what we also learned in this moment is also that Ashley has, you know, maybe not, well, kissed and maybe more with Charisse's son. Now, the man is 27. So in the scene, the flashback, I don't know why I felt like everybody in that scene already knew. I felt like Giselle knew what Ashley was going to say. I almost felt like everybody in the scene knew, and they were just having the scene to make some type of thing. At the end of the day, I mean, I don't really care. To be honest with you, Ashley is single. The boy is single. I don't know how I would feel if I'm Charisse, but I mean, at the end of the day, Charisse don't seem to care not a lick. So I don't know what I don't understand what the hootenanny is. Who cares? If the girl want to go out and get her freak on, let her go out and get her freak on. Now, if it were my son, okay, I don't know that I would be wanting that for him. But at the end of the day, you can't stop what these two grown adults are gonna do. So they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and maybe that's just where Charisse is. I don't know. I mean, you know, I mean that to me that's just what it is. Okay, and next they might have bumped and grind. It's only a 10 year right. It's only a 10-year difference. It ain't like he was she's it's a 30-year difference. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and even then they grown. They grown. All right. Um, didn't care that much. I was actually more interested in whether or not anybody was going to eat Stacy's potato salad or not, because you know people are real finicky about their tater salad. People get real finicky about their tater salad, and you just not going to be putting your mouth on anybody's tater salad. You know what I'm saying? Because and listen, as much as I like Stacy, do I think she made that tater salad? I don't think she did. I think she bought that tater salad from down to the Wegmans or the Piggly Wiggly, whatever else, whatever market was around the way, the Trader Joe's. Do they make potato salad? I don't know. Y'all know you can. I think it even some of the sheets you can find probably some potato salad. I don't know where she got that potato salad from, but I don't think she made it herself personally. And that's no offense to you, Miss Stacy girl. But I just don't think you sitting around in the kitchen whipping up potato salad in your spare time. I don't. And it was too little potato salad for it to be that was a small helping of potato salad for a group that size. Girl, you didn't make that tater salad. You got that from down to the Wawa. You put that tater salad in a dish and then you set it out there because that wasn't enough for the group. And if you had made it yourself, you would have made a lot more. We seen potato salad being made. People don't make just that little bit of tater salad. You got that tater salad from someplace, scooped it up in there, and then what you probably did was you knew enough to throw a little paprika or something on the top of it to give it some color. Hmm. Cause you know. Cause you know. I don't even really eat tater salad like that. Okay. I don't. I mean, I'll eat the egg. If you put some egg on it, you know what I'm saying? Like a little egg on the top, I'll eat that. But I'm not really a fan of that because people like to put relish in that thing, and I don't like relish. Relish to me is just disgusting. Any type of sweet pickle, I mean, just throw it away. Throw it all away. Okay. Throw it all away. I don't want it. And if you put onions in your tater salad, I don't want to eat that either. I don't. Why is there a crunch in this mushy food? It's like this real weird, unexpected crunch that just does not go with the mush of the potato salad and the egg and the whatever else, the people you putting up in there. So now I gotta crunch around the relish and the onion. Oh no, 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 no. This is too much work. No. I wouldn't eat it either. I wouldn't eat it. Mm-mm. I wouldn't have been eating it. No. Sorry. And I know y'all put y'all relish and onion in there. I know y'all do. I see. I'm looking at the comments, and I could just see who. I bet I could tell who put onions and relish in their tater salad. Now I know I can't eat it. Don't bring it. Don't bring it to the Ponderosa. I swear for God, I'm not gonna eat it. I'm not gonna eat it. I'm gonna be like Eddie. Okay, so there's that. Okay. Meanwhile, Angel is preparing for the Colorado trip because she's gonna invite all the girls down to the See, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. See. No, I don't see. No, that's the problem. Okay. I don't eat, I can't, that's why I don't really eat potato salad, because everybody I know put some crunch in it. So it's always some type of crunch and munch in there. I don't know. And I just don't want no crunch and munch in my tater salad. I want potatoes. Can I just have potatoes in the potato salad? Jesus. Just potatoes. I mean, and whatever else you want to put in there for color, not a whole lot of mayonnaise either. If you put a lot, I don't even know, should mayonnaise go in there? I can't stand no mayonnaise. Meanwhile, whenever people put mayonnaise in something, they always put a lot. Okay, if they put mayonnaise on a burger, it's literally dripping from the burger. It's dripping from the sandwich. I just feel like people just have this thing where they overdo it with mayonnaise, and I just don't know why. Mayonnaise like that, it fills up your mouth. It's just absolutely disgusting to me. Oh my God. Meanwhile, so Kay, not to be confused with Kay Jewelers. Oh no, no, no. Kay is expecting she sits down for a gift from Greg. Yes. Greg is preparing to give Kay the gift. And don't you know it's the gift that keeps on giving, because it is not a ring. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. It is not a ring from the jewelers. Mm-mm. It's a picture frame. Oh God. Child. Oh. The ring didn't mean a thing. I swear, man, it just be like the jokes just write themselves on that one. Not to say that, he has to give her a ring, but I think that there is an expectation that at a certain point she's moving back in. Listen, I don't know what this situation is like for I couldn't say what I think it would be like for a woman. What I can say is that for a person in general who has now moved back into the house with this man, I mean, maybe she's just okay with where things are. But yeah, it's not a ring. And so the scene read just kind of like, oh, that's kind of cringe. Yeah. What kind of photo we're gonna put in there? I mean, it was just weird. It's like making pomp and circumstance for something that does not require pomp and circumstance. Why all of this for the frame? Like, what? Like, we could have saved all this. You could have just, I mean, you could have just saved that for Christmas. I don't know. I just I really can't call it. So it is what it is at this point. Okay. The ring didn't mean a thing. Tia is repairing her relationship with her half sister. I mean, the sister is cute, adorbs. Let's get to Wendy and her sister. Okay. These are the sisters that we need to talk about. The sister and Miss Mama. So much of this episode is dedicated to Wendy. Oh, I will say this. This was probably the first time we saw Timo, and I felt like there was chemistry between him and Stacy. Like, and maybe it's the two of them alone together. I did feel like there was something there for the first time. And maybe again, the guy is just not comfortable on camera. Not everybody is. Like, not everybody wants to be on TV. And I'm sure he's doing this for her. Um, but I will say it was the first time that I felt like, oh, they got okay, he likes her. Okay. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Um, He did tell her not to get a bigger butt, but I don't think he knows what a big butt means for for women in this day and age. Like, I think back in the day, I feel like people might have thought like, "Oh, my butt's getting big. Oh no, I won't fit in my jeans. You know, I won't fit in my straight leg Levi's." That's kind of how I feel like people used to think back in the day, maybe. Oh, yes, I won't fit in these straight leg Levi's because most of these jeans companies don't make jeans for people who are of color. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm like what, 6'3". Sometimes I feel like I'll go into stores and I feel like, who are these clothes made for? First of all, my torso is so much longer than the way these shirts are made. And I feel like most of the pants don't really fit I mean, and I don't feel like my body is disproportionate, but I do feel like sometimes I go into stores and I'm like, this ain't made for me. That's just TMI for y'all. But and so I can only imagine if I feel like that, I am sure some of y'all feel like that too. Okay. And again, I think I think there was also a time when big butts weren't really in. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the beauty standard was to be super, super slim, you know? Okay, so it's not just me. Jesus. The dilemmas, man, the dilemmas. Okay. Wendy, for most of this episode, is wanting to reconnect with her father, who allegedly was not there really for her and her mom and her sister. And so Wendy makes a call to her father, who, when Wendy went to Nigeria, he was nowhere to be found, which upset Wendy. And so as a result, she's still trying to figure out a way to make this relationship work. Now, what she does not tell us until the very end is that Wendy feels like the odd person out with regards to her sister and her mom. I wish that we had known a little bit about that beforehand, and maybe we did, but I don't think it had been deeply explored. But I think knowing that would have made more sense as we watched the scene play out the way that it did. Okay. Um, so when Wendy invites her mom and her sister, first of all, the $100,000 renovations. Okay. They did look nice. There's the interior decorator has come over. She's she's worked her magic all over the home, and now Wendy and Eddie want a pool. They want a pool to go with all of these renovations. Why not? Why not? Did you guys notice that Wendy said, or Eddie, one of them made reference to Wendy wanting another ring? Now, when they said another ring, was that to say that, I don't know, it just kind of made me wonder about the ring that was pictured in the photograph. Like, is the argument for that going to be that that's a different ring she had on in that photograph after it was reported stolen? And then he goes to get her a new ring? I don't really know. I just picked up on that. Okay. I picked up on that at some point during the episode, and I was like, will this have any bearing on the case? Will they use this as evidence? How does it work to her defense, or does it work to the prosecution's defense? Like, what? And they made a little slash noise when he said it. So it just kind of made me think, like, will this have, is this significant? If you go back and watch the episode, listen to that little one part right there, and you will hear it. It was like a little, like a little like noise that they made, like a little slash noise. So I felt like that's something that they wanted to emphasize and they wanted us to take note of, but I could not place it. I couldn't place what it was supposed to make me think. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. And Merry Christmas to you too. And happy holidays to all. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the love. I just appreciate y'all being here. So that's, I mean, that's how I rock. So yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, what does this mean? And as I'm listening to the talk about the renovations, I'm like, I just don't know. I just don't know. Okay, so let's move on. So Wendy invites her mom and her sister over to see the renovations, and mom is okay. So I'm just gonna let you guys know that I did grow up in the South. So when I'm talking about somebody's mom or elder mother, I do try to show a level of respect that I just cannot help but do, right? Not to mention, I know that my own mother watches me, so I try to keep it cute, okay? But I'm also trying to keep it real. There is always a tone that Wendy's mom has with her with regards to some level of expectation of something, right? And so from someone who is, I thought that Wendy's mom was getting an allowance from Wendy, and I'm not for certain if that's still happening. But for someone who is getting an allowance, I felt as though she was making a lot of, like, snarky comments about how much they might have paid for it, which I'm like, wouldn't you be happy that your daughter is able to do all of these things and you also get to be a part of it? Like, I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like there's a level of expectation there and entitlement. But maybe I'm reading it wrong, but that's how I always feel when I'm watching her speak to Wendy and in Wendy's presence and in Wendy's home. Um, so I got to start with that. Shay Johnson says, "Happy holidays." Thank you so much for the super chat, Shay. Happy holidays to you as well. Okay, and that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dog right there. Okay. Um, and I gotta say, so Wendy tells her sister and her mom that she's had a conversation with her dad, and it does not go over well. The sister, I thought, was I could rock with what the sister was saying. Don't get your expectations up. He's not going to be this type of person that you're expecting or that you're hoping. I can understand that because if that's the sister's experience and that's the sister's experience, she might want to save Wendy from some future trauma. But it is the mom's reaction as it kind of gets as it kind of starts to bubble over. Um, I gotta be honest with y'all. Like, I'm kind of on Wendy's side in this one, because, and let me tell you why. I think that for the way that the mom was speaking, with regards to the cameras also being there, that I can understand why Wendy would want her children to maybe go upstairs. I can understand that. I can understand wanting to say, "Hey, let's pause it. Let's pause it." And the problem is, when the mom was saying that Wendy was pointing her finger, the problem is the mom wasn't stopping, right? So when Wendy asked her to hold on, the mom never stopped. It was like the mom was on the train at that point and the train was leaving the station. Okay. The train was like in full swing and it was about to jump over the cliff. And I felt like Wendy was trying to, hey, 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 hey. Now I get it, I mean, don't punish your mom and stuff like that. But I felt like Wendy was just trying to interject, like, hey, let's give me 1 second to get the kids out of here because I don't know that she knew it was going to go there. Maybe she did. I don't know. And it is also Wendy's home. Okay. That's number 2. It's Wendy's home. It's Wendy's home. It is also Wendy who is on the show. Yes, pointing has been a big point of contention on this particular season. Pointing, chin checking. I mean, there's a lot of things happening. So, mom then gets further enraged. She accuses Wendy of calling her an idiot, which Wendy did not call her, but it was in fact mom who called Wendy an idiot later. Okay. Um, I also have to give Wendy props for how she handled that situation. She did not get as disrespectful as they got with her. And I have to kind of include the sister in that as well, because I feel like sister Ivy was probably gonna have mom's back regardless. It sounds like that's a pattern. Okay. It sounds like that is a pattern of behavior for the two of them. And probably rightly so. I feel like Ivy has probably experienced more with their mom. And so it's probably a bit more protective. And so I can sort of see that. And of course, because mom is also in Wendy's home. And I just also wonder too, because mom said a lot of things. I mean, mom basically was calling Wendy attention seeking, and one could wager that maybe Wendy could be. But at the end of the day, Wendy is on TV, and so are you because of her. So, you signed up to do the scene. You know there's cameras around. There is likely a part of you that likes to be seen too. Because typically the apple does not fall far from the tree. Okay. Now, the stuff that she was saying to Wendy and the stuff that Wendy was like, I mean, and all of it made me understand Wendy a whole lot better as I watched this scene play out. I watched the mom go ham, okay? Literally cursing Wendy out. And Eddie comes in and he's trying to they bring Eddie out. Bring Eddie out. Did y'all notice the little bring Eddie out t-shirts? Okay. So they bring Eddie out. Eddie is trying to calm the situation. I felt like mom was even kind of getting disrespectful with him too, with the way that she was talking to him, but also the way he was talking about Wendy. And I think he did the right thing. He did not engage. Okay. He just literally pulled his wife to the side. He wiped his wife's tears as she silently mouthed to him, "This is what they do. This is what they do to me." Right. And so finally, as she quietly says, "I want them to get the F out of my house." And then the sister is like, what you say? What you say? What you say?" And I'm like, I think she said, "Get out. Girl, it's time for you to go. It's time for you and moms to go. Cause y'all are acting real disrespectful in her house." Okay. Now it's one thing to correct her if you felt like she was pointing at your mom. But I did feel like while the mom was saying that Wendy wanted a moment, I kind of feel like it was the other way around. I kind of feel like it was maybe the mom that wanted a moment. And this is not to disregard everything that the mom has went through with the father. The mom, I think, has every right to feel whatever she feels about Wendy's dad. But what she does not have the right to do is police her to police Wendy over whether or not Wendy chooses to have a relationship with the dad. Okay? It is one thing. And then what she also does, the mom that I really just didn't like, is she threw in Wendy's face, but that she babysits the kids. She's there to watch the kids. So it's kind of like I cannot stand when somebody does this in an argument, is when somebody says, "I've done this for you," almost as if you don't have a right to give them feedback because they have done something for you. Just because you did something for me does not give you the right to disrespect me. Those are completely two different things. And if you are only doing what you're doing because at some point in time you are hoping to be able to lord it over top of me, I don't want you to do it no more because your intentions are not in the right place. You're not doing what you're doing because you want to do it. You're doing what you're doing because you want power over me. Okay. You want to be able to control the situation. And so therefore you do these things so that A, either you can get the credit for it, or B, you can manage me. You can manage Wendy. That's what it feels like as a viewer. I mean, this if you did not see the scene, let me tell you, it is I don't think we've seen anything like that since probably like a Candy Mama Joyce throwing a shoe at Carmen. Okay, it you know what I'm saying? We ain't got one of these in Potomac. I don't know if we've ever gotten something like this. That's just my thought. um Be Blessed says, as a Nigerian with a mom from the same generation as Wendy's, this is common. Once our moms get started, it's hard to calm them and reel them in. But speaking while they speak, even to correct, is, quote, disrespectful. I can understand it. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Lord have mercy. I forgot that she got hit with the pocketbook. Shamar, thank you for the super chat. First of all, says Wendy's grown, and two, don't disrespect me in my house, and three, I raise my kids my way in my house. Period. That to me is where I'm at with it. It's like I think it's one thing to be upset, but I think you yeah, be upset. But if she want to get her kids out of the room, then let's pause it enough for the kids to get out the room. Okay. I think that there has to be when people here's the thing, and a lot of people don't feel this way, and a lot of people don't know it. For some people, when they get upset or mad, all levels of respect for the other person go out the window. And you have to be able to say, if I'm mad at you, I still have enough respect for you to not A, insult you in your own home, but also B, to let you get your kids out of the room. Like there has to be a level of like, all right, so let's have a common rule of engagement so that it don't get too out of hand. So that conversation, let me tell you something. It was good. I don't want to say it was good because it wasn't a good thing, but it was just fascinating to see it explode um in that way. And I do think that, hey, listen, I can respect the fact that you don't want a relationship with the man. I can respect that you may hate him for the rest of his life. But I mean, I think a lot of parents would also agree that a mom may dislike the dad, but oftentimes you will see either parent maybe say, I'm not going to speak ill about your father because that is still the person that helped create you. I just don't want nothing to do with them. But if you, as the adult, choose to have a relationship, that's what you choose to do. So, Wendy's in tears. I mean, it was it was rough. Okay, it was rough. All right. You know what else was rough? Mind you, before we get to that, just want to remind you guys, for those of you guys that just tapped in, me and Monique Samuels, we doing a live podcast called Life After. We will have the Tylers and the Duncans along with us, a DJ, brunch, food, drinks, beverages, all of that at the Bethesda Theater, January 25th of 2026. And the ticket link is in the description of this video. Okay. All right. Now, Toya and Eugene, ma. So this is episode 4 of season 12. It's called Trouble at Serenity Villa. Dr. Simone's reveals she is at the end of her rope in her marriage. Quad and King continue their IVF journey. Toya throws a party to celebrate her new house, but everything goes sideways when Dr. Eugene sparks conflict. Did Dr. Eugene spark the conflict? Or was it the other way around? Okay. Oh, God, there's a lot to talk about here. First of all, as I watched this episode and I thought about Simone, and then I saw the preview for Simone for the next episode, and then I watched Dr. Eugene, and it kind of made me wonder. It sounds like Dr. Simone is like working herself silly, and she feels like maybe nobody appreciates her. And it also seems like Dr. Eugene is working himself silly with a completely different result. Okay. Um, is Toya not appreciative of that? Or does she just want her husband home? Okay, let's talk about it. We start the episode off. They're still at Brandy's party, her dinner birthday party. And Dr. Simone has just revealed that she does not want to be in her marriage anymore. I'm just going to say this. I think that when you're in a relationship, I think that when you start throwing around the "I don't want to be here anymore," you have you should probably be very, very your bag should be packed. Your bags should already be packed and at the door. When you start to speak that out loud, it cannot be because you want to be heard. It should be because you've already called your attorney and the papers are drawn. Okay? That's number 1. Now, I understand things are bad. I do. But we have got, I mean, like, you if you hadn't said that to him and you said it on TV, I do think that that is definitely taking somebody by surprise. But if she has, then okay, fine. But I still think when you start talking like that, your bag should be packed. Don't 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 threaten that if you're not ready to do it. Cuz that's huge. That's life-changing, life-altering. Um but we are where we are with her and she's overwhelmed, okay? Um a couple of things to note. I don't know why I'm enjoying finger waves at this moment, but I did enjoy the finger waves on Quad. I don't know why. The same way that I enjoyed them on Dr. Wendy. It's something about those finger waves. Meanwhile, I'm not sure what's going on with Dr. Contessa in this scene. I generally enjoy Dr. Contessa, but she seems oddly irate about Brandy and her husband paying for dinner. I'm not really sure where that comes from. I mean, it's it's odd. It just seems very, very odd because it has absolutely nothing to do with her. It has zero to do with her. If that man wants to just pay for dinner for her, that is lovely. Like, I think that that is great. What is so wrong with that? Especially if you are munching on the food and you are sipping and guzzling down cocktails and you're not paying for it. To me, one should not complain. So I didn't really get that. I didn't really understand that. It felt it didn't feel like it didn't feel real enough to me to understand. Um there is a moment between Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone where Dr. Heavenly says that she fussed out her boy and then he packed his bags and he left and she don't know where he is. I appreciated Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone having this kumbaya moment. I really did. Um, because we rarely get to see the two of them commiserate over anything. But I think that I would have appreciated this more had we seen more of a build up to it from Dr. Heavenly. Like I would have appreciated, and maybe this is in the edit. Maybe this is just, I mean, I don't really know. Maybe it's because she's a friend of the show, technically. But I feel like we didn't see I didn't see that. I just didn't see it. So sometimes with TV, like you have to show and tell us. And I think that because we've seen so little, but we've heard so much about how difficult this season was, but we don't see it. We don't see the difficulty of that. And again, I'm not saying that that's her fault. I'm just saying that if if we're told that this is so difficult, that this is gut wrenching, then we as the audience need to feel it. And I'm just saying they haven't given us that feeling, and maybe it's because they have minimized her role. I don't know. But I did appreciate that because I felt like it was a moment of softness between two people who generally show us their harder outside shell more than they show us those moments of, there's a way. Listen, there's a softness that Dr. Hemley has when she's talking to daddy, the voice, her pitch goes up when she's talking to daddy. When she, it's just a whole different level of, and I get it. People talk differently to their spouses and whatnot. This was kind of a woman to woman. I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and we're with each other here. So I appreciated that. D Turner, you said the camera's moving too much. I can't help that. The camera does what it wants. It has a life of its own. When I bought it, they didn't tell me it was alive. So I apologize to you. But it is what it is. Okay. Next. Quad is, can I just say this? And I'm gonna say this, and what Dr. Heavenly said, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna take it back. Maybe we didn't really get to know King that much last season. So maybe we didn't see much of his sense of humor, but he makes a lot of, I don't know. I just feel like he makes a lot of like jokes about Quad or that are at Quad's expense to me. And I don't know, is it just me or am I listen, and again, it could just be his sense of humor and she understands it. I'm just telling you as a viewer, I just think that some of the stuff he says to her, I'm kind of like when he talked about how she apologizes, but with an attitude. Listen, every couple has their ups and their downs. So we just because we only see them in harmony on the show does not mean that they are, that they don't have their moments behind the scenes. I mean, that's just two different people are gonna have that. But I sometimes feel like when I'm watching, like the jabs seem like they come more from him to her, and I just don't understand. Sorry, I hit my nose ring, y'all. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. So, is it just me, or is that maybe just his personality? Okay. Y'all say you're not wrong. We see it. Okay, I was thinking the same thing. I thought it was just me. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It might be their humor, but it comes across like mm, it seems a bit much to me. But and again, that could be his personality. And again, we didn't get to see that much of it last year. We just saw because it felt like he was new, but I feel like he feels very comfortable now, and as he should, because that's their relationship. But I don't know. I don't know. It's something about it. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know. I wanted to acknowledge that real quick. Toya and Eugene. They have a conversation, and this there's two other things that we're going to talk about that sets the tone for this episode. Toya's Eugene and his working, he works with the ER. So if just for those of you guys that don't understand, when you are either in a relationship with somebody who works in the medical field, and it could be a lot of different fields that are like this. So, but we're talking specifically about the medical field because that's the show. Specifically the ER. That is a hard space to work in. And so people who generally work in an ER, they typically work a lot. I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know that from what I've seen, they typically work a lot. And based on the amount of houses that Toya and Eugene have had, and the lavishness with which they live, I would probably assume that he is working his life away so that they can afford their style of living. I don't know this first. I don't know their finances, but I'm just gonna tell like that. I'm just gonna say it like now a 5-hour drive. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot, but that's excessive. there are a couple of things that are happening. Toya wants him to be home more, but Toya is also helping him manage, I guess, his side hustle for which he's looking for an office facility with Dr. Contessa and Scott, which, according to Toya, is very small. And I'm kind of wondering, I mean, is Toya managing that aspect of his career? And if so, then that does maybe give her license to give an opinion. But if she is not, then that's his business and his discretion as to whether or not he chooses to work there, unless again she is managing that aspect. Okay. Um, it's very difficult for me to ever tell someone, "Hey, you shouldn't be working," because typically when people are working, it is because of one of two things. They love what they do. Okay, it could be one of three things. They love what they do, they don't have a choice, or they want to avoid something. Okay, one of three things. One, they love what they do. If the man loves what he does, okay, that's to be admired, but it cannot be at the detriment of the family. Two, he doesn't have a choice. At this point, if he doesn't have a choice, then there is no need to complain about the fact that this man is working all the time, because there is some bill, there is some expense, there is something that needs to be paid for. Okay. Now, if that is Toya's lifestyle, then she sounds entitled. Okay. This is being for real. All right. Or option three, he is avoiding something, right? So sometimes people will work a lot because they just don't want to be home. Now, I'm not saying that's it. I'm just telling you three reasons why people generally work a lot and they're married. So I personally think that he loves Toya's dirty draws. I think that he is working himself to exhaustion. I think that he wants to make her happy. And I just don't know that she sees that sacrifice, that's a sacrifice for him. Um, because she probably doesn't want to just be or feel like a single parent, and that I can also understand. So they have a balance that they need to figure out, and it's not working right now for either one of them. Because she's not going to see that he's a good man, Savannah. She's going to see he's working, and she might feel he's working so much and he's avoiding me, right? Because I told you one of three reasons. They love it, no choice, avoiding, right? So she could feel, if she's feeling lonely, that gives her too much time to think. So I have a solution, because a part of me feels like maybe she has a little too much time on her hands. Because I'm like, ain't the boys in school at some point? But even still, being a homemaker is still a responsibility. As such, here's my thought. Toya should potentially take on a consulting role as an interior designer. Now I've just solved a couple of problems. She loves to get a new house. Okay, help other people. You are surrounded, I'm sure, by rich people who play tennis. Help them design their new homes, right? Maybe you need something else to do. Okay. Because I know she makes a lot of money for the show, but the show is only going to be filming when the show is going to be filming. So outside of that time, she probably, I think some type of activity would also help satiate some of the need that she has to be, maybe in his company, in his presence. Girl, start doing some interior design for the folks. You love buying a new house, you love furnishing it, you love setting the stage for it. Go do that for somebody else and get paid for it. Okay. So there's also this thing about the fake Balenciaga bag. Okay. Now, I don't know if she's still doing the wines, and I don't know if she's still doing the wine and things, but to me, the wine thing was a great idea because, girl, if you love to drink and you making what? She said that she was making $5,000-6,000, I thought, a month. That's a pretty good living. I'll sell some wines for that amount too. Y'all want a wine? Y'all want to start a wine club? I'll give y'all some wines too. I don't even drink wine like that, but I'll start. I will start if it's gonna pay me $5,000-6,000. I will drink some wine every day. Y'all will see me on this live drinking wine. If we're gonna start to me, that was the ideal business for her. She could have been traveling the country doing wine things and whatnot, all the work, whoop de whoop, right? But does she want to work? That's going to be the question. Does she want to work, or would she prefer to just live the lifestyle? And that is fine too. But at the same time, that comes with a sacrifice, and that sacrifice is going to be probably time because that man got to work. Then there's the fake Balenciaga bag. Okay. Dr. Heavenly, a parent, somebody left the fake Balenciaga bag somewhere, I guess at the brandy party or something like that. So Toya texted the group, somebody left their fake Balenciaga bag. No, she was stirring up some trouble. Okay, so it was Heavenly's fake Balenciaga bag, but Heavenly later tells us it was not fake. Okay. But what she does say is, listen, it might be fake, but at least my home paid for it. So then that sets Toya and Heavenly off. And then Heavenly at some point says something to the effect of, well, something about her man's Jangalang being big, baby, and I guess making a reference to Toya's husband's Jangalang not being so big. So now we got a jingling off. You know what I'm saying? Now we got a jingling off. The girls are in the group trying to figure out who got the big jingling, who don't got a big jingling. Why are we discussing that in a group thread? I will never know. I don't feel like anybody in your friend group should know anything about your husband's, your wife's jingling, punani, or anything like that. I just don't. To me, that is just TMI. Y'all talking too much to each other, and y'all don't really need to be telling that type of thing to anybody else because that ain't nobody business. Okay? Personally. So that sets the group off. Meanwhile, Toya is hosting a day off party. Go figure, she ain't working. So I listen, whether you like her or not, I mean, I like Toya. She's funny to me. You know, I want to live like Toya. I do. Toya sits around, collects, all the monies, you know what I'm saying? Drinks the wines, plays tennis, looks fabulous, travels all over the world, not a care in the world. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to live like Toya too. So listen, Toya, look, you how do I sign up? Okay, because I'm tired of working. Okay. I would just like to sit there and look out the window. That's what I want to do. I really just want to sit and look out the window. So she's throwing the senior skip day party, and she got the half naked men and women. I don't know why, but I don't know. And for some reason, she seems real testy with Mimi when Mimi puts a little paper napkin down on the ground. First of all, Mimi is wearing off white. I personally don't even wear white under I don't wear anything white below the waist, okay? Because that's just a recipe for disaster for me. So not gonna do it. Okay? That's number one. But I just feel like Toya is extra testy with her, and I'm not really sure why. And I think because Dr. Mimi ain't really like going off on nobody yet. But anyway, so Toya has an idea for a game. And so this is where I felt like she to me was, I felt like, disrespectful to Eugene. She went outside to tell the men she wanted them to participate in a game, and basically she wanted them to be active. And the stuff that she was saying about being active sounded so pointed towards Eugene that it was kind of like, that to me was the border, like the disrespectful part, because it's like, this man is working all the time. Like, he ain't got time to be spending in the gym. Like, he's too busy working to be at the gym lifting weights. I mean, he probably maybe that's what he should do in life, but I don't think he has the time to, because he's on the road for 5 hours out of a day, traveling back and forth or whatever he's doing. So who has that kind of time? So, for the 7th house. So he's like, none of the men really want to do anything. To be honest with you, they want to sit and chill. Like, they want to relax. They don't want to be up and about playing all these games and getting physical. Who want to do that when they got dressed up to go hang out and chill at a picnic at a party? So he's like, no, I'm not doing that. So she gets upset. So they get into it, and I mean, listen, when I tell you they get into it in front of everybody, I ain't gonna lie, the way she was talking to him, it made me uncomfortable, okay? It made the people at the party uncomfortable, and so I know if I'm uncomfortable through the screen, I can only imagine how it felt being there. Now, Dr. Heavenly's making jokes in the background about, how I mean, essentially, the sentiment is that Dr. Eugene is probably just used to it at this point, and even as upset as he gets, he operates with a level of restraint that I do feel like you could tell he loves that woman to death. Okay. Um, because she goes off on him. Like, I don't like people talking to me crazy. So I don't know how that works. But I would assume because they've been married for this long that he's probably okay with it. That's what I felt. It felt like a slight microaggression with regards to his weight. And that's what felt like that's what made her statements about the game disrespectful, and I did not like that. It all felt like it was at Dr. Eugene's expense. And I felt like Toya was wrong for that. I felt like she was super wrong for that because at the end of the day, this man, it sounds like he is working his fingers to the grind. To the bone, and and I don't fault him for loving her dirty draws. I really don't, but I do feel like the way she talks to him in this episode is problematic, and she needs to really check that because you know it, it's degrading publicly, not only in front of the group, but also in front of like the world of TV. Now, if that's real, then okay, I can't fault her for being real because that's what we signed up to watch this show for. But my God, today it was bad. Okay, when I say it, I literally have no words for it, how bad it was to me. Okay, so as everybody's like in shock, some people are talking and Dr. Heavenly's talking to a group and she's kind of making, comments. So when Toya realizes that people have been making commentary about her pretty much degrading Eugene, it's like she goes off again. Now she's going off on everybody. But here's the thing. To me, she had a lot of misplaced anger. She's going off on a group when the person that she's really angry at is Dr. Heavenly. She's angry about Dr. Heavenly making comments about her reacting to Dr. Eugene. And it's like you gave them a show, Toya. So if you give them a show and they react to the show, you can't be really mad at them for reacting to the show. I mean, it is what it is. Like, to me, right? And she goes off and she talks about, some of y'all ain't my friends and y'all talking about my marriage and my marriage is gonna be fine. Yeah, we know it'll be fine. I mean, I don't think that they're in any trouble because I think that probably, they're just used to that type of the way they argue. Again, would that work for everybody? Probably not. But it works for them. So it is what it is. I can only tell you how I felt and how it made me feel watching it, but I can't tell you what that man should do as a result about it, and I can't tell you what she should do as a result about it because if they like it, I love it. But I can tell you what it looked like. It looked crazy. And so I can only imagine that the people there thought it looked crazy too. But again, they might be used to it too. So as a result, I mean, if you embarrass your man in front of everybody and they react to you embarrassing your man in front of everybody, then I don't know what you expect. But at that point, she's just going off. And Heavenly, Mimi, and all of them are included, but really it's Heavenly that she's mad about. And I'm not so sure why she's so mad at Heavenly, but she's really upset. Like, to the point she's in tears as Dr. Heavenly is trying to leave and get out the house and can't open the door. Okay. Um, I don't know if she feels any level of regret at that point. She does not say. Um, with regards to the way that she spoke to Dr. Eugene, who is very much like he needs to apologize. He feels like he needs to apologize to her for the way he responded to her when he told her no, he was not going to play that game. I'm sure Eugene knows. Listen, he got to go to bed with her. He got to sleep. The person you go to bed with is the person that you got to please at the end of the day. And so, I ain't mad at him at this point, especially if you ain't leaving. You know, at that point, it just is what it is. So anyway, when I tell you, if you missed, again, I cannot explain to you how wild it was to see Dr. Wendy's mom curse her out and to see Toya go off on Eugene the way that she did. When you see it, you will. I guarantee you, he don't. I don't like it either. To be quite honest with you, I cannot stand it. It's like it is literally the worst. So anyway, both episodes were good. I will give you that. They were good. There was something that Dr. Heavenly said about those bags, though. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, especially once you've been to Asia and you start to realize like how much of the designer is literally made in like Southeast Asia, and you see the cost that it costs over there versus the markup that you see some of these items are here. And then once you start hearing, they be saying over there, like in a lot of those, I can't say a lot of those places. In some of the places that I have been, they're like, yeah, Americans are the only people paying those prices for these items. It make you think a whole lot different about designer. Trust me, it does. Okay. All of it be made over the seas, okay, in the Southeast Asia for the cheap. Okay. So that 1,000, 2,000, 3, $4,000 markup, you ain't paying for nothing but the name brand of that box. You be better off designing your own. The clothes too. Yeah. I'm about to sell all mine right now. Honestly. Like for what? I mean, literally for what? It Why spend all that money on it? Knowing what I know now, like seeing it for seeing it for myself, I'm like, oh no, just go over there and get it. Mm-mm. Hop right on over there. I can show you exactly where to go. Hmm. Hmm. Now check that as Phaedra says, "Oh my God, listen, y'all, thank you for tuning in today. Be it tapped on and turned on. I'm actually about to take some stuff to Goodwill right now. Um, yeah, but let me tell y'all something. Please, 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 please. Um, definitely go watch the episodes if you haven't. Come back and then let us know what you thought. I just cannot wait to hear what if you haven't seen the episodes, please, please, please do yourself a favor. Go watch both of them because they were both super good. Okay. Super good and super interesting. I say good because they gave us a lot to talk about. So yeah, these were some episodes right here. These were some episodes. So um, yeah, you be better off designing your own. So anyway, make sure you guys get your tickets for Life After with hosted by me and Monique Samuels. We are going to be having some real in-depth, deep conversations, especially for people who have lost something. So if you are that person, if you have been lost in grief, if you have been lost in loss of a relationship, a job, this is going to be the conversation for you, especially coming after the new year. We want to help you with your resolutions, but we also want to have a good time, y'all. We're going to have a good time, some in depth conversations. We're going to make this a celebration, DJ, food, and all at the Bethesda Theater in Maryland. So please, please, please come out. Please, 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 please come out and join us. We would love to see you in the crowd. And also, if you guys are in a different location and you want us to come to your city, please let us know in which city you reside. And so we can start making our way down to some of those cities so that we can touch as many people as we can touch in the new year. Okay. With that being said, make sure you guys keep it locked on the channel, and I will catch you, of course, in the next video.